Welcome back to the Schmoedown replay. What's going on, guys? We are the Cinefanatics. My name's Chris Adams.
And I'm Robert Adams.
And yes, I'm alive.
We did it. That's right. We've had a whole week of basically you didn't exist.
No, I had to rest.
In the virtual world and pretty much the real world because you really didn't leave your bedroom at all whatsoever.
Or my bed.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you were living the glory life right there. I mean, that's what I'm aspiring to, but no.
It's not the word I would use, but okay. Anyway, guys, we want to welcome you to a very fun, a very entertaining Schmoedown replay tonight. We are watching Ethan Erwin versus Tom.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, only because, like, Tom is such a dynamic character. He's been a phenomenon in the Schmoedown. It's been great to see him just like he came in here and just started ruling everything. And it's absolutely amazing to see this rise. And you know what? I want to say these things while he's actually here. So let's go ahead and let's bring on our special guest. It is the one, the only Mr. Tom Reimann. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
So, first off, before we get started with anything really in deep, who are you?
What do you mean?
I mean, this is the first time that, for all intents and purposes, we've had a guest on the Schmoedown replay that, as far as I know, has absolutely nothing to do with the Schmoedown. I mean, I was hoping to get either Ethan or Tom, but we got you instead. So,
yeah, no, I'm this boring guy. I don't know. You want my life story? I don't know what you want here.
You're starting off with deep questions there.
Yeah. I don't.
We're getting existential already, and we're only like 3 minutes into this, so this is going great so far tonight. No, so like I was saying before we brought you on, that like you came in like just completely like tearing everything apart. Like it was amazing watching your run because you came in with Drew as a part of the Looney right off the bat, and y'all just did phenomenal. And I remember seeing so many people were noticing this. People were saying, like in the chats and everything. I think we even said it in our reaction originally was like after your first performance, we're like, I want to see him go straight to taking on Dan Murrell. Like just skip this whole like you have to build yourself up, just go straight to the top of this. And I mean, we've been waiting for that kind of a match, and like essentially this is that kind of a match. You're taking on what I would say one of the top tier players in here that I'd say is a part of that elite group of the higher ups. We still want to see you take on Dan Murrell though.
Sure, yeah.
So compliments aside, what really, I guess, brought you into the Schmoedown to get started in this crazy sport to begin with?
Drew.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was working with Drew at Collider, and she was like, "You should do this," and I said, "Okay," and that's the story.
You heard it here.
That is literally it.
Like movie trivia? I know some things about movies, I guess.
Yeah. No, I have a mind for trivia. I don't know. It's just I was really good at the Kevin Bacon game back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bacon.
Yeah, I store lots of pretty useless knowledge in my mind. And a lot of it relates to movies. So it's just, I don't know. I can tell you, like as a kid, I would like keep like calendars in my mind, like year by year calendars I keep according to what movies came out in those years. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, that helps with movie release dates.
Yeah.
That's actually the next thing I was going to ask you is if you felt like revealing it, is are you someone who just happens to retain knowledge, or are you someone that you feel like you have to study to keep up with this? If you want to share.
I've never studied. I've studied once, and that was before this match that we're about to watch.
No,
That's fair.
Yeah. I usually literally just come. I put on the costume. I come to the show. I do the show, and I leave. That's it. I'm sorry. There's not really more interesting about it. It's just like,
No, I
it's
think
just a gig to do.
I think honestly that is actually the interesting part of it because I mean just to beat on a dead horse a little bit more with the compliments, you are somebody who that we can see like seriously knows his stuff when he comes into play. Like you the fact that you're coming in and you're performing at the level you are just trivia wise without studying, I think is like a really interesting anecdote that a lot of people would probably find fascinating actually.
I don't know. I mean,
Especially
I don't
because like there's big talks of like strategy and you want to like study and all of this from like all these other players, and it's like no.
Yeah, no, it's this is gonna sound kind of, I don't know, may not sound great, but like we sort of kind of went through this before the show started, but like I really don't pay a lot of attention to the show. So like I would probably not be able to pick most of the competitors out of a lineup. Like I don't pay much
That's
attention
fair.
to it. It's just a fun thing to do, you know. I like trivia. It's fun.
It's true.
nice.
And I don't really get into it's what's nice about having a character like this. It's kind of a double-edged sword because one, it is a pain in the butt to do it. But two is I don't really have to engage in the competitive aspect of it, which is really nice because I'm not necessarily interested in being competitive. I just think it's a fun show to do. So my character lets me not do that. Like I don't have to participate in any trash talking or any like heated rivalries or anything. It's just because I'm just like a space cadet the whole time. So that's been really fun to do.
It just kind of allows you to come in, kick back, and just kind of relax with it a little
Exactly. Yeah. I don't feel too much pressure outside of staying in character, which is not too hard. But I like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of a, it's kind of a pain in the butt character to do. Particularly in the costume when we're like in studio because it gets hot under all those lights.
Yeah.
But I really like not having to feel stressed about whether I'm going to win or not having to like go super like kayfabe into rivalries or anything like that. I'm just like, no, I'm just a guy who just shows up and does trivia and leaves.
Talk about a dead body, do my thing.
Yeah. That whole thing, that line was supposed to go to. My intention behind saying that was I was meaning to connect it to this character saw the film Stand By Me, and that's how he thinks people make friends is by going to look at a dead body. But I never made the second half of that. So it's just that.
Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of want to jump in here. I know we want to see who all's in the chat as well, who's joining us tonight.
Can I see? I don't think I can see the chat on my side. Or is it under comments? It's under comments. I was on the wrong pane.
Yeah. So under comments, you can see him like everyone's saying like by far the best character. So we also learned on this show, this program, that Snyder hates studying. He doesn't do it. Dean Morgan's wanting to know the most important question is where is the dead body?
It's within all of us, really.
Again, existential questions throughout this. That's what you're expecting tonight.
It's in all of us, and eventually it will be us.
It will be all of us. Yes.
This guy looks a lot like Tom, but
you get that a lot.
Character. It's a pretty good Tom cosplay, but he needs to put the hood up.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah. Got to get the hair in my face too. Hold on. There.
Oh, okay. No, I recognize this guy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right off the bat, we got MovieFanobi dropping a $4.99 super chat. # Save Adams. # He Lives. Thank you, Steve, for that.
Thank you, MovieFanobi.
Yeah, so we will dive more into, I guess, like my brother's ailments on tagline. Should that happen this next Tuesday, we'll get more into that for there early in the episode plug for our other show. We got people saying like, "Hi, Tom," and
hi, Davey Francis.
So if you guys are new to this channel, we are going to be watching the match here in just a second. Please, no spoilers in the chat. The two of us up here have not seen it. Obviously, the other person here has experienced it already.
Yeah, I've seen it.
If you have any questions, if you have any questions at all, guys, feel free to send them into the streamlabs.com/cinefanatics, and we will bring them up throughout the show there. Anything at all, anything you want to anything you want to get ready to ask Tom, anything you want to say, feel free to drop it in there, and that will have priority over the regular chat. And super chats are also available for you as well. Anything else that we need to cover, you think, before we jump in?
Kristen Todd says, "I am the dead body."
There she is.
The other thing is, where'd it go? If you do feel like you want to spoil this match, you are free to spoil this match in the chat if you would like. Again, that link is right there above my brother's head, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. Feel free to spoil the match all you want, just attach some numbers to it. Anyways, let's get started with this episode. Let's see what happens.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And there goes my cat.
Just right on time. Oh, I'm on camera. I need to leave.
Like, I'm not on camera anymore. I'm out of here. That guy looks like he has your chin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
That joke is not going to get old.
Trivia Schmoedown. It is the last match.
Lieutenant Dan.
Number
Ice
3.
cream.
Ice cream.
Lieutenant Dan.
Semifinals. Both sides of the bracket starting to head to the semifinals. I am Christian Harloff, joined as always by Mark Ellis. We just saw Jeff Snyder defeat Mark Riley via TKO here, Mark, and now he will go on.
How have you felt like going into this on your own, like going into singles,
Tom, the Enigma,
outside of like teams and everything?
About him, except he knows
pretty much the same.
Movies somehow. He knows where to bury things, and he knows movies.
I do miss having somebody to talk to on some of the
Ethan
more
Erwin,
difficult questions.
Schmoedown champion
And like round 2, it's like, ooh, I could really use another person's input on these.
Second round, just
that's one thing we've noticed. Like a lot of like your character also works very well bouncing off of someone. Whether it was like Drew to begin with, Paul, you bounced off with pretty well. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit.
I know Ethan is
and since you've started the singles tournament, your interactions with Kate have been fantastic.
Oh yeah, Kate's fun.
Knows how to answer questions that we ask. I don't know if he knows you by name, if he knows that I'm not.
I think it's also like Kate comes from the school of like knowing how to do improv also, so she's like right there hanging and setting up the whole time.
Well, he's done very well so far.
Yeah, are you a stand-up comedian, or are you just do other like?
He is now facing Ethan Erwin.
I know you're part of like Cracked and
a victory over Ethan.
Yeah, I did Cracked for about 10 years. I do stand-up.
So
hopefully I will again once the world comes back to normal.
You wrote a couple of the sketches that Crack did. What's his face? The guy acting like the CEO of the company.
Honest Dads,
yes, the Honest Dads. Those are fantastic. Those are hilarious.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun to do. And that guy, I forget his name, the guy who plays Roger, but he was great. He was a lot of fun. It was a really nice man.
Happen where Andrew Guy seems to be back to, I hate to use the word, but normal, Mark?
Don't put that sort of jinx on it, because he was sweatier than I was at the Viper Room when he was competing in, you called a match. I'm not sure how to actually.
I do like that Kate is Tom's mom and Mark Ellis is Tom's dad. They both him.
They both do that. Yeah, it's funny.
You want him just as a friend. You want him to get back on his feet and be independent and not have to check in on him. But Could him and whatever he brings to the table today impact this match? It remains to be seen.
Well, it's interesting because of the fact that it's also
That was
that both
forever a problem when I would try to tell for any of us that worked there. Trying to tell people what we did. It's like, I worked for Crack. You work at Crack?
This is kind of the first test.
No.
The guy will be acting as the Usual Suspects manager today. And how will that communication go? We know
Is that connected to Mad Magazine?
No, not at all.
Good, because somehow
I think I remember
a direct competitor in the 70s, I think.
Has somehow been able to.
But like there was a Cracked magazine that looked like it was kind of emulating Mad Magazine.
It was started in the I can't remember when. I think in the 50s now as a direct competitor to Mad Magazine. Yeah.
I think Tom's taken to it. I think if anything, Christian, it may be a step in the right direction.
I have also written for Mad Magazine. Actually, now that you mention it.
I don't know Tom that well, but he does
That's
seem
awesome.
to have some semblance of independence.
Yeah, I did a piece for an issue last year, or it might have even been in 2018.
Maybe that helps him.
It was well, I won't repeat it here. Actually, it's not a family-friendly piece.
The tough thing about today,
I almost just said it. I was like, oh no, I can't say that.
all this carnage.
That's right, y'all. Those of you just now joining the show, this is a family-friendly channel.
Yeah.
Is it one of those that, like, in some case? Oh, well, let's do the. If you want to pause real quick, Chris. Whoop. Is it one of those that, like, if you try editing it, it makes it sound funnier than it actually is, type of thing, or?
No, I'll tell you. It's about David Bowie and Labyrinth. if that turns you in the right direction.
Does it have anything to do with his particular costume?
Yes.
Namely, like the lower half of his costume.
Right, and how there might be a sock in it.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, there you go. It's an open letter to that sock. Is what that's the piece that I wrote. Yeah, it was pretty cool. They did like the fun little artwork of David Bowie to go along with it. It was cool to see. You know,
you're like he looked like the priest on Little Mermaid.
Yep.
Anyway, let's jump into this promo.
Sure. Yeah. I haven't actually seen how any of these turn out.
The promos?
Yeah.
I'm going to be very honest with all of you. There are not too many players in this league that scare me. One that does is Tom.
I film all of mine in the dark, so I don't even know if they come out.
2 more points.
He has not missed a question. We haven't seen this since. This is very Ethan Erwin-like.
Do we know, is he the crocodile guy?
Oh.
And your winner, Ethan Big Time Erwin.
Ethan Erwin, the man is an animal.
Obviously, Ethan pretty handily won his first 2 matches, and now he's up against Tom, who, I don't know, does he think is it some sort of Phantom of the Opera thing?
Ethan, I've been waiting in your house for an hour.
That freaks me out.
Ethan Erwin, if you want to be closed on so badly,
I send in like 30 or 40-second promos, and I'm just like, well, I hope this works.
Very honest. I don't know how it's going to go, but either way, one of us is going to the final 4. Check it out.
The man is a runaway train. There is really no stopping him at this point.
Wait, maybe this isn't your house. I'm in someone's house.
Pause it.
Yeah.
Still, here's the thing. Like, I think what's really great, like even Garth has said, yeah. I think what's great about that, like in all of these promos that you've done, like you've said, like I don't feel like I'm hoping it doesn't sound like a put down. You said like the most simplest thing, and it comes off perfect. Like I don't know if I'm in his house. I'm in someone's house. Like it's the most basic idea, and it comes out so well, so perfect.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that's Errolowl.
You're right. That sounds like a put down.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I don't mean it to be a put down. It's a great comedy style, I feel like, on that. And it works so well. And I think that's one of the things that everyone really likes about your character.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, like I said, it's just like a fun thing to do. I don't know. I don't think about it too much. I'm just like, oh, hey, I get to do this thing now.
I'll be honest, like I try to be funny on this channel on our show, and I feel like I overthink everything.
Yeah. That's part of it. Like, it's, economy of words and stuff. It's just very often the simpler idea is going to be the funnier one because it's just like, there's less to think about.
Is it one of those that you kind of just let you go into shooting like your little
promo? Thanks.
And you're just like, no, I don't know. I don't have any plans. It's just whatever comes to my mind while I have the camera on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know, like, basically, like, I knew I was going to be sitting in Ethan's house or at least think I was sitting in Ethan's house. And so I just went with that.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
Let's move this back over here.
Sure. Thanks, Lionel.
Thanks, Star Drew.
Well, there you go. It's exactly what you thought it would be. Strange.
How do you ban somebody while you're doing the show?
Ethan's on a very different mission normally.
I'll just let
him in seasons past.
You're getting off this time, Star Drew.
If I'm a competitor that I think that I'm looking at, because Ethan beforehand was always like, yeah, I'm gonna play, and he still kind of carries that attitude, but he seems the most locked in to the game itself and trying to maneuver the game and play. I think that little run. With
Ethan's really good.
It changed him.
He knows his stuff.
It just seems like he's playing very different than he has in the past.
We had Liz Shannon Miller, who's one of Ethan Erwin's friends. We've had her on the show, and she was talking about like how they would just sit around talking movie trivia, just hanging out.
Yeah, I work with Liz. She's a television editor at Collider.
We're about to find out, but before we get to the competitive, Christian,
yeah, that's right.
There's going to be some fun
that's right. You guys work
offices
down from each other.
Yeah, sort of. We work in Slack together.
Gentleman here.
There you go.
Hello, Christian. Mark, how you doing?
Andrew,
speaking of character work,
dude, we haven't really seen you much in the
Schmoedown
since a couple months ago with your match. So
I'm guessing Sam's not available, so Andrew guy's stepping in.
Like your old kind of even more so peppy self, and talking about how you're managing Ethan and excited to be playing in the team's division. What changed?
Sometimes there's just been things that have been hidden below the surface, if you will, and for the longest time they've been holding me down, keeping me back, keeping me down. And one of those was that Ethan Erwin and I were going to be a team. And you heard about his fiery competitive nature. Now, ever since Drew McQueeney decided to retire, for whatever reasons those may be, Sam and I had a plan, just like we had a plan today for me to come in and manage, but we also had a plan about who my partner was going to be. So you talk about this new competitive
this extreme dad energy.
Well, I'm not going to say you're looking at it, but Christian.
Extreme assistant coach energy.
You just got back from a round of golf.
Hey.
Yeah.
Andrew, I hesitate to bring up the events of just a few weeks ago. What do you remember?
It's like the offensive coordinator here.
Match you played against
the offensive coordinator,
buddy,
actually.
Ben Baker.
I remember, a very well played game by Ben. I remember some oddly worded questions asked by yours truly. Yours truly. And I
Speaking of really weirdly worded,
yeah,
it was a scorch. I'll
I did watch that one.
Recently, so that maybe accounts for some of the armpit
then first match
under the chest and
belly
button sweat.
Contact sweat.
That was a massacre.
It is contact sweat.
Well, fair. Andrew, look,
that's one of those like I was talking about being able to perform versus doing character work.
Your wits about you.
That was a good example of that.
I'm glad to have you back, and I will say that
I mean, sometimes you just
competitor role.
Like, I mean, last year or earlier this year, I blanked on Zachary Levi's name, like an actor that I know. Like, sometimes you you just can't pull it.
I know.
I feel like that happens a lot because even us doing these reactions, there's times I know exactly who it is. I think my brother's also done this. We know exactly who we're trying to think of. We see the face, just the name is just completely gone.
You know,
You
not
can't
really.
pull it.
It happens
I'm really
sometimes.
thrilled that him and his dad Polo were able to get out of the loony bin today to join
His
us.
dad
and,
Polo.
I'm really excited to see how Tom buries all of these fellows as well. So we have Kate, the
We live
mom,
here in
Tom's
the
mom.
daddy. So
Yeah.
I'm ready for this.
Man,
We live here in Austin.
Not
I used to
due
work at
someone from
a
relationship, but
a
hey,
store that
I-
did
I wanna
apparel
clear
for
something up. I wanna
the
make
University
sure
of
I'm
Texas,
saying-
Can I actually
and
jump in
those
real
kinds of
quick and
polos
clarify?
I saw
Sure, go
all
ahead.
the time.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
just like to say it's a
Speaking
So,
of which, we did a good job today,
honestly,
didn't
with
we?
the weather these days,
Oh.
it just helps me move and
Yeah, I don't wanna talk
and
about it.
feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't
Like
work
I said,
that well.
Dad Polo.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Sports? What's sports?
Let's focus on this match here in particular. Kate, your competitor.
Yeah, sorry, Mark.
Is
Sorry.
Tom? Am I pronouncing that right? Tom.
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 She's got that Boston in there. Tom.
It's Midwest she's going for.
Yeah,
She wants to sound like Midwest mom.
Yeah.
You seem to have.
Repeat
She's
after me.
she's
Tom.
Chicago Kate, not Boston Kate.
Yeah.
Tom.
I forgot. Like they
Your competitor.
in some syllable
Steve,
pronunciations that
as a
sounds
motherly
very the
figure,
same.
is that
And
how
Garth's
many
gonna get
things
after me on that one.
would start a match immediately, or is
Because
it
Garth is from
actually, like,
Boston. So
does Tom need to have you as his mom?
You
in
sound
order
more
to
like a
show
Texan
up?
right now. Jeez.
Listen,
I know.
Tom needs me to think that he needs to think that I'm his mom. So that
Hey,
he doesn't
y'all, thanks
murder
for
me
joining
at
us
the end of the
tonight, y'all.
season, Okay, it's not really Tom needs it; it's I need it. Okay?
Giddy up.
I don't know what that guy's capable of. You can tell me it's Smokey here from a
Oh, right,
gender
she was
reveal
having
party. I
connection
think it's something
problems
that
this
Tom
day.
did, honest to God.
Ooh.
So all I do is I keep this guy happy. Okay, Tom.
All right. Tom, it is. All right. Well, I will. Last
We're
question
from
I have
Texas.
for all
We
of
like
you. First, I'll start
Whataburger.
with you, Andrew. So, usual suspects, you're taking over here to manage.
Hey,
how did you?
why don't you come to
convince Sam
Wahlburgers?
that you were able to take the reins here? And,
I actually kind of want to try that just to see how it is.
I think I know.
I mean, they're in airports and junk.
You
You can
pretty healthy conversation.
you can find a Wahlburgers if you look hard enough.
And
They're
what
actually
you're saying-
you know, other than speaking
In our
before the
airport.
What you're
match,
saying is
maybe
we
a
need
little
to
bit
fly
afterwards,
somewhere.
I think.
Oh yeah, I mean,
What I did
Yeah.
gave him
Not anytime soon.
confidence in me, and that's why I'm here today. And
you know what? I
honestly,
think
the biggest thing is about-
Wahlburgers, a trip to Wahlburgers, is
You can
worth
have
the
anyone
risk
managing
to
him,
your
but I'm
health.
managing him. I'm his partner. We're going to build a relationship
And he is
with
not
people,
talking
trust
about the
one another,
food.
And Ethan can do this on his own. Ethan doesn't need
Just
a
the
manager. He's done it
experience
before. He's
going
done
into
this
Wahlburgers.
many times with no one helping him. Sam and I just want to make sure that we're here today to provide the best assistance that the champion needs.
All right, and
Question, Andrew Guy.
Okay, I
was
do
in
say y'all a lot. That is a part of my normal everyday
the
conversation.
ring light before
Yeah.
you accepted this job today.
Well,
Like
actually,
at work, I greet people like, "How are y'all doing tonight?" Like, I'm from Texas.
I
Dang
can't
it!
actually speak on that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this was a weird exchange. Yeah.
all right. Well, all right. So listen, this is very, very interesting from all of you. Good luck, and we'll see you in
Was that just like Guy just like sticking to that, and no one knew how to respond to it, or?
I think so. Yeah, and there was.
A week ago. So I'm gonna say.
I don't know. I think there was some kind of issue. But I'm not sure, so I don't know. But
all right. Ready to go?
I think Guy just stuck with that and just was like, not moving.
So I'm prepared for it.
All right. Either way,
Force
Either way,
ending the bit.
Here is the
Yeah.
competitors
Really
are ready to go.
sandbagging the
The
bit.
managers are set behind, and we are ready to
Oh
run.
man, like the worst improv partner.
Time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. Introducing first, representing the
How does it
Den.
feel being a part of like the Den? Like your characters seemingly should be something like
No defeat.
the dungeon,
He is the
like something darker. Like the Den just doesn't seem like it works with the character, but it looks like you're having a blast doing this.
Yeah, no, it's
Tom, it's
you
a
know
match.
it's fine. I got drafted, so I didn't get to pick the team I was on.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
possible. Tom, how you feeling?
It is. I filmed this under my desk in my office, and it is incredibly uncomfortable.
Christian, I think I got this.
Like you're playing while sitting under your desk.
I am hunched over under my desk with my legs crossed, to the degree that my leg always falls asleep. By like round 2, my leg is totally asleep.
See, that's what it takes to play in the Schmoedown, y'all. Dedication to making your leg fall asleep.
Yeah.
She'll be here soon. Get yourself a glass of milk.
That relationship is.
I can't help but notice this is the same hoodie that you have right now.
And
Yep.
his opponent.
Yep, I recorded a match earlier today, actually.
Usual
Really?
suspect.
Oh, the team's already started recording?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. I don't know. I mean, I won't tell you what happened, but we recorded.
No. The 2018 Movie Trivia Schmoedown Player of the Year and the former Movie Trivia
Jillian.
Schmoedown
Oh my God, it's Tom.
Term.
Big Time. Ethan.
I like how when Christian introduces you, he says, "This is Tom." He used to do that for Dagnino back in the day.
A fan made this
When
shirt. I actually, a big
when
shout
Tom
out to them,
Dagnino
and
came out,
also
he would say that then also.
to know your name.
It's like it just kind of carried over to the next Tom.
It's a great shirt. Really good.
Sweet.
And lots going on.
So it
here.
looks like someone did a shirt for him, like kind of like with that
You,
Ninja Turtles
you've
kind
just
of
avoided
look
that
to
there
it.
with a
Yep.
Great match you're playing.
I think
It
he
also-
talks about it in this.
It also kind of looks like the Toxic Crusaders.
Oh yeah, the Toxic Avenger.
The Toxic Crusaders cartoon.
The cartoon show, right?
They made a cartoon from the Toxic Avenger. Like someone
Yeah.
looked at that Trauma movie and said, "You know what? Let's make a kid-friendly cartoon out of this."
They made a RoboCop cartoon too. So
Yeah.
in a way that they weren't before.
it's
Ethan, I'd love to ask you about the match, but I'm more concerned about.
wanted to sell some action figures.
That's
there is
it.
a
That's
chance
completely what draws that.
somewhere in your house now.
No,
I
he's
don't
like
even
right there. He's right there.
I think that's actually the story of He-Man. They created the toys first and then made the
Joe Don
cartoon.
Baker trick from Cape Fear, the remake.
Yeah, that checks out. Something about like the late '80s, early '90s, like
Figures.
animation
I
cartoon
guess
stuff.
I
Because
thought
there was like a
we were
Rambo
using
one also. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a Conan one too. The Conan cartoon has the best opening credits. It was one of those. You remember how in the '80s, a lot of cartoons during their opening theme song, like it would stop in the middle and somebody would just very quickly explain, shout the plot of the show to you. Like the Conan cartoon is the pinnacle of it. Like it has its whole musical intro, and then it's during the bridge, some guy just comes and he's like, "Conan must fight the evil snake." It's 10 seconds of this dude very intensely telling you the plot of the cartoon. It's great, and every show should do that.
I mean, look, Janine and I felt we're a great team.
I know one of my favorites from like the 80s was a kid video that had like this like garage band get sucked into the mirror, and they like when they get it was a real live action garage band. One of the members was Robbie Wrist, cousin Oliver from Brady Bunch, and he also did like Ninja Turtle voices. They get pulled into this mirror, and then like in the mirror reality they're all cartoon, but they were a real band. They actually put out albums and stuff. It was fantastic cartoon, but they were kind of like that where they had it like pause in the middle of the opening, and the villain of the cartoon was the one that was the exposition of the show.
And Erwin.
I was probably looking at my phone right there.
First round. Keep your hands up, Mark. What are the rules of round number 1?
Oh, thank God, the rules. The rules of round number 1 are as thus. The field of competition. Tom, honey, we're not eating our paper now. We're not eating our paper. We're actually using that to write down the answers to movie trivia questions. You're going to hear 8 in round number 1.
Love it. Yes. What we were saying, he was like a dad?
There is no stealing.
Yeah. He's gold.
So fun. We're not eating the paper.
Remember, you spit that out. Very good. And you can also use a JTE rule if you want. You have 3 of them to use. As a matter
There
of
happens
fact.
to be a USB cord at the bottom.
That looks like a swallow.
Yeah, it was a hard drive in my mouth a second ago.
There you go. And
Just
you also
random
have
things in my
challenge
office.
to use at any point throughout the 3-round contest. If you
I love how this is like
just ask for your manager
interrupting
or
the
say,
rules.
Mommy, no, that's a
Just
valuable.
keep cutting away.
We don't put
Shit.
figures.
I'm sorry.
Not actual
I'm just doing weird stuff.
So you're probably
Okay, so with
Again,
that, I believe
here's the thing.
competitors are as ready as
Keep
they're
in
gonna be
mind that
to
this was
for one of them
pre-recorded,
folks.
so the editing on this.
Underway.
I think so, and I don't even know if you need to show the rules code
Yeah.
during all that. All right, so let's
Oh, yeah.
start with Ethan. Are you ready to kick
It takes the editing on that to really seal that joke in.
I took the teddy bear.
You took the teddy bear.
Ready to Schmoedown. Round number
Get
one.
Eric Rodriguez
Question
that
number one.
Yodi
in the
Award.
realm of action adventure.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
What 1987 action comedy was the first sequel that Eddie Murphy starred in?
Christian, you're going to have to use every ounce of that Marky Costello hosting school. Okay,
Yeah.
I need you to focus here.
It's lunacy.
Oh, you guys are playing
Can't
wrong.
have you bail on me. Not now.
I'm not. Christian Bale, I see what you did.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And Ethan.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yes. Tom.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yes, sir. 1-1. as we
Beverly
choose-
Hills Cop 2.
Beverly Hills
All right,
Cop
next
Roman numeral
question.
2.
Go to comic
Because
book
I'm an
number
overachiever.
Apparently.
You're doing them in Roman. Okay.
I'm losing them, folks. And your question for a point. Who directed Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart in 2017's Logan? Logan is one of the cooler names you'll ever have for a child these days. If you meet a kid named Logan, he's cool.
You know how we were talking about blanking on names earlier?
Oh, you're blanking on this guy's name?
I'm blanking on his name.
1. Pens down, please. And Tom.
Yeah, oh man. James Mangold, yeah.
Mangold.
Dang
Yes,
it.
sir. And Ethan.
James Mangold.
Yes. Just a reminder to the competitors. After
James
you're done
Mangold.
writing, please put your
I
hands up.
hate things.
All right. Next question. Question number 3. Dramas. What Oscar-winning epic features such characters as Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler?
I can't
Poor
believe you, Christian. You might have to be the one that locates Tom.
Guys, he's right there.
Here's the thing. Running a movie-focused YouTube channel, I have still not seen this, and I need to. I want to.
How do you spell Casablanca?
2.
It's not that movie.
Gone with the Wind.
Yes. Tom.
Gone with the Wind.
3-3. It is a tie game thus
Gone
far.
with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
I just need to find like half a day I can set aside to watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, actually.
I have really bad like ADD, so being able to focus on a movie that long,
Winning actor
it's so long.
had an early
It's a long
starring
movie.
role in the 1986 comedy The Money Pit.
Oh.
And to quote a great Bostonian, I like The Money Pit. That is my answer to that question.
I foresee it. There's going to be a joke coming up pretty soon.
And 5, 4,
I can see this joke is about to happen.
1. Pens down, please. And Tom.
Tom Hanks.
Yes. And Ethan.
T. Hanks.
Oh no! So it's Tom
no, Peter Griffin from the
Hanks.
Here's the next question.
Thanks.
That's the Hanks.
I'll make the
Fantasy
joke.
Sci-Fi. Marty and Doc travel to what year in the future, featuring flying cars and no lawyers, and Back to the Future 2?
Ooh, so much excitement around this movie. Saw this at the AMC Newport News Patrick Henry Mall.
I remember when this year, which has already passed us, happened.
Mhm.
Everyone was like, "Yeah, well, that wasn't true."
Yeah, no. None of that came true in 2015.
2015.
Except the Cubs. The Cubs did win the
Here's the next question mark.
whatchamacallit, whatever their Super Bowl thing was.
World Series.
Yeah.
Hey!
Ah!
Take it. Your question for a point. Who plays Watson to Will Ferrell's Sherlock Holmes in 2018?
I got
Holmes and
about 40 minutes into this movie before I shut it off.
I saw it in the theater, and I'm so sad I did. It just
I haven't even started it.
Our Moriarty, and then he did it in that movie instead.
4. That is annoying. 3.
Jared Harris was great though.
1. Jared Harris was great. All right, and
I love
we
how
start
Ethan starts
with
talking about his Sherlock Holmes.
the,
Yeah.
Tom.
The one he produced.
Yeah,
John C. Reilly.
The much better one.
John C. Riley.
Yep.
John C. Riley.
And now we get to our next question. Horror/thriller.
Ha!
Who
Perfect.
directed the 1993 film Army of Darkness?
Technically, Christian, he dropped two names.
Is this
because he not
available
only
for streaming? Because I want to do like a watch along with of that.
Harris, so.
I must be.
And he
My
did-
brother's not a huge fan of horror movies, but I feel he could watch that one. Not the first two, but easily Army of Darkness.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is a comedy.
Tom.
Oh yeah,
Sam Raimi.
Yep.
Sam Raimi.
Once again,
Sam Raimi.
reminder to you guys, as soon as you're done writing, please keep the hands up. All right. So last question here. Unless they both get it right, then we're getting a perfect round from both of them.
You can get it through the Stars Amazon.
Different personalities. They know how to answer movie
Okay.
trivia
Yeah, I just checked it.
And
So
your
you and
last
I can
one
access it.
comes from the world of animated movies.
Yeah.
Could be drawn by computer, stop motion, by hand. And here's the query. Danny DeVito voices a grumpy yet charming creature who tries to protect his
I
forest
speak
from
for the
being destroyed.
trees.
In what 2012 Dr. Seuss adaptation?
Danny DeVito voices a grumpy yet charming.
Again, I'll give you $1 if you can tell me.
He voices himself.
It's just Danny DeVito, yeah. Danny DeVito voices a Danny DeVito-like character.
3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And we start with Tom for the perfect round.
The Lorax.
Oh, I keep forgetting they did the Lorax.
Both getting the
I was saying like
question.
Horton.
What Lorax?
To
But
this ninth question.
Jim Carrey was Horton.
If
Yeah.
the same thing I've been doing for the previous 8.
But I was like,
write it
I know
down.
there's nothing in Horton about a deforestation.
It is. Here's the bonus question. What filmmaker received Oscar nominations for
Oh.
writing and producing
Marriage Story.
2019's Marriage Story?
Was that the Scarlett Johansson one?
Yeah,
It was.
Adam,
Okay. I was gonna
Scarlett
say
and
no
Adam
more.
Driver.
I don't
Who
recommend it
did
to
that?
anybody early.
For writing and producing.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Ethan.
Forget.
Noah Baumbach.
Yes. And Tom?
Oh,
Oh, my internet's screwed up now.
Got it. 9-9 as we now.
Yeah, I
get
can't wait till
to
this stuff gets back to a
round
studio so you don't
number
have like the
2, as
internet.
We see ourselves all
Yeah,
play out.
it's usually. I think it's been fine,
Mark, how'd you go?
but I'm clearly having a hiccup right now. Oof.
Doom and ultimately justice will be served to these two individual carbon-based life forms. Once you spin the wheel, you settle
Like
on a
how
category.
Andrew guys
You
set
and
up
you
the
alone
Civil
are gonna
War
hear
poster
4
behind him
questions in said
Yeah.
genre. Each
between
2
him and
points.
Ben.
No penalty for missing a question. However, stealing is available in round number 2. So if you're not sure of the answer, ask us multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down.
yeah. See,
So
and that's the thing is I never read the Lorax book.
competitors
Yeah.
tied at 9.
I know Horton, Here's a Who, The Grinch,
is going to have the luxury
Fox and Socks.
being
Cat in the
first
Hat.
or deferring to his opponent.
Cat in the Hat.
And his manager, Andrew Guy.
Various
right
other
now.
animals wearing articles of clothing.
All speaking in rhyme.
Yeah.
I know you didn't take a sweat. Those were great questions for you. They were right down the lane. We already knew what we were going to do. We were going to spin first because we knew you were going to be in the lead. And even if we were going to be tied, we knew that you were going to make the decision. So let's just go out there and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. I'll spin.
All right.
I
let's
like
do it.
that like they've attached your Twitter to this now.
I know.
When you first started, it was like, who?
Question mark?
Yeah.
Cape Land.
I don't know how disappointed people are, Schmoedown fans are when they follow me on Twitter. I'm not that.
Something I feel
Well, so what was funny? I don't know if I know you've responded to like when we post like, hey, we're doing a reaction to this Schmoedown episode with Tom. Typically, I've created the Twitter post saying it's so and so, like Jader, for example, Jader Paramo versus Tom, and I would tag Jader like in the body of the tweet, but I would just leave it as just Tom because Tom essentially doesn't have any Twitter. But then in the photo, which is essentially our thumbnail, it would say like who's in the photo, and I would tag at Start the Machine.
All right, so
in the photo.
You can tag me as normal. It's fine.
No, but I was doing that on purpose. Like, Tom doesn't have a Twitter, but then like in the photo, it's tagged as Start the Machine.
Still getting it in there.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm still tagging you, but not in the body of the Twitter, as if.
Are you ready?
It's funny.
No
I
one
have
knows
to,
who you are.
yeah, I have to tilt my. You can just see the bottom of it in the top of my screen, but I have to tilt the camera in such a way so that you can't see the wall of action figures behind me. I have a bunch of like marble action figures that I have on the walls.
Nice.
In what heist film?
Ocean's 8.
Correct. All right, here is.
I forgot
the
Julia
second.
Roberts being in that.
Kate Blanchett plays what famous Hollywood starlet in Martin Scorsese's The Aviator?
Oh, shoot. I like that movie too.
Wait, Julia Roberts wasn't in Ocean's 8.
Katharine Hepburn.
Correct for 2 more points.
Oh.
In Blue
Yeah, Katharine
Jasmine,
Hepburn.
Kate Blanchett plays a formerly wealthy woman who is forced to go live with her sister in what Western U.S. city?
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
San Francisco.
Correct for 2 points.
Did Julia Roberts not
And
have like a
final
cameo in
question.
that movie?
Here it is.
No.
Huh.
Kate Blanchett made an uncredited cameo as Janine in what Edgar Wright film?
Hot Fuzz.
For 2 more
Yeah.
points, each
Yeah.
one crushes the board. Does phenomenal as we now move him in.
Yeah, Ethan knows his stuff.
Kate, 60 seconds.
Ethan knows his Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
I told you. Hey, buddy,
I would have missed the Blue Jasmine question.
you win this match. Forget the prestige. I got my kids' teeth that you can have. You can have Tom, you got to win the match. Okay, you are doing awesome. Perfect first round.
Teeth.
You just got a perfect. Oh yes, teeth, buddy. They can be yours.
All right,
And
let's.
all of the stem cells in there. Now you're gonna do great, buddy. Okay, keep going with this perfect game, and those teeth are yours, pal.
I can have all the teeth.
All of them.
Fortunately, we have 20 seconds left if you want
Well,
to.
that's we're ready to spin. So I'll tell you what. Ready to spin, Tommy boy?
Here we go.
Tommy Boy, somebody different.
All right, here's.
All clothing.
Did I hear a niner in there?
Say, you say
Calling
that
from
all
a walkie-talkie.
always. Always be closing.
Tom, 60 seconds. 60 seconds.
The idea of that is
this
just
would be great.
Thing that's left
the
on
idea there
wheel.
is just hilarious to me.
Where does this fall? Is this?
Oh, rom-coms.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's worse out there? You feel like there's better out there? What do you think? So Tom, I was talking to you, pal.
I'm really thinking right now.
Oh, good
Spinning it.
choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Here's spin by Tom.
That's one of those moments where you get caught between playing the game and being in character. Yeah. I really was thinking about whether or not to spin again, and also still trying to. So I just got real quiet for 10 seconds.
All right. So, okay, I'm going to remove you here. You got 70 movies, and we're going to bring back Ethan. Tom, you're going to get 4 questions in the realm of the 1970s, not to be cute, not the 1470s. All right, here we go.
Not to confuse it.
Were you alive?
Never gonna leave that one alone with Ethan.
Not to confuse it with the 70s BC.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Quit while I'm ahead. Tom, your first question in the world of the 1970s movies is, for 2 points, which famous comedic actor played Dr. Ross in Woody Allen's cult hit Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex?
That's a cult hit.
Apparently.
Multiple choice.
All right. For 1 point, is it A, Walter Matthau, B, Peter Sellers, C, Jerry Lewis, or D, Gene Wilder?
Peter
Those
Sellers.
are movies about people
It is
kissing. You're right.
incorrect. So for a 1 point steal, Ethan, I'm going to repeat the question and the multiple choice options for a point. Which famous comedic actor played Dr. Ross in Woody Allen's cult hit everything you always wanted to know about sex? Is it A?
Now, obviously,
Walter
we'll continue
B,
seeing
Peter
how the rest of this plays
C,
out. But
Jerry
do
Lewis,
you think you wanted to
Wow.
probably stick with rom-coms more, or were you actually pretty happy with this?
You'll see.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
You'll
Yeah.
see.
D. Gene Wilder.
Kate Blanchett wasn't in it, but he still got the point, Christian. That's a big steal for Ethan.
All right, big steal for Ethan Erwin as we find ourselves now 18-9.
Yeah, I don't know.
as we-
We'll see.
70s.
All right. Pam, your question for 2 points. In the 1970s, who directed the 1971 film Dirty Harry?
I was gonna say, I think his name was Harry Callahan. Oh wait.
Multiple choice.
All right, for a point. Is it A, Clint Eastwood, B, Don Siegel, C, Ted
Did
Post?
Eastwood do that one?
No, he did not. Just go ahead and spoil that for you.
B, as in bear.
B, as in bear. Don Siegel is correct for a point.
Tom picks up a big
That's,
point there. Needed it as we get to the
It's like
next
anything
question.
dealing with like a western,
Back to an
like
8-point game now.
not
Bouncing out the steal. Two
not in
questions
there.
remain for Tom in the 1970s. Your penultimate
unless
question.
it's like obviously
In
Clint
Monty
Eastwood or
Python and the Holy
what have
Grail.
you.
What does the French taunter say?
Yep.
Your mother
Elderberries.
smells?
Elderberries, yeah.
Elderberries.
That is correct for 2 points. And
I fought in your general direction.
Tom played at 6, Christian, so there's no more knockout worries, but Tom can really claw his way back into this match if he gets this last question right and get that much closer to Kate's kids' teeth. Here's your question. Jack Nicholson played a therapist in what 1975
Tommy.
musical
Oh yeah.
based on music by The Who?
Tommy.
That's kind of like your name, and it's 2 points, Christian. So
It's just like nonchalantly. It's kind of like your name.
Oh, 1 point there, and sees himself with a 4-point lead going into round number 3. Mark, what are the rules for round number 3?
Round number 3 is the round that will determine the match, unless we go to sudden death overtime, which we are prepared for. So in round 3, we need a series of numbers from each competitor. These numbers may range from 1 to 20. We need 3 numbers from each of you. You can't use the
Yeah,
same
I don't
numbers
know
as
if I would have done better in rom-coms or not, honestly.
each category of movie, trivia, Schmoedown,
I mean, they would
sequence.
probably have asked more recent movies, which I'm a little better with.
Final one,
Yeah.
should we take it that far? Is worth 5.
Like pretty much from the 80s, mid 80s on, I'm pretty good with, but I get a little
Keep in mind,
fuzzy in the
no penalties
70s.
for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round
You do
3.
realize that, like anyone you ever face in the future is now watching this particular YouTube video.
Oh, all right.
Like,
Start
oh,
with
he's not
lead.
good at before the mid 80s.
Well,
This is
I
the
wasn't
game
in this match.
Nice save.
Guess what I'll be paying attention to in the future.
No, I can't take 0. 10? 10. Okay, that's good. You can take 10.
See, the problem with being as amazing a competitor as I am is you often don't realize your weaknesses because they don't come up very often.
All right.
Well said.
I feel good.
That's
I mean,
how you
look,
handle
I like
that.
having this lead.
Yeah.
I like having a little bit of a cushion there, but doesn't mean anything if he gets all of his. So it means I gotta get mine, and that's fine too. But no, I like it. This is how I thought it was gonna go, and let's just hope.
I just like imagining the
this will be a nod
juxtaposition
in my favor
of
with those numbers I picked.
the Tom character
Kate Blanchett worked
having
out just the way
to
you thought it was
answer
going
anything
to.
about
The
like
deal was
Meg
great,
Ryan.
just the way you thought it was going to be. So just keep doing what we're doing.
I know most of her movies, actually.
All right. Kate, 6 Tom right now.
Hey,
Meg's an
Tom,
easy one.
all I gotta do is just say this, okay?
In
Got
which
those
New
teeth
York
for you.
restaurant does Meg Ryan have an orgasm?
For my kids' house. It happened to try. Okay.
How many
now,
kids do you
Tom,
have?
It's family friendly channel. I use the scientific word for that.
you
Sure,
know
I'll still
there's
have what she's
certain
having though.
rules, Okay.
Man, that's crazy. I'm looking at the score right now. That's kind of nuts. That
Still your game to win, my friend. Okay.
the stealing in round 2 is brutal, man.
Out, my friend.
Yeah.
'Cause I only missed one question in round 2, but he got a 4-point lead
All right.
out of
So
it.
thank you to Kate. Thank you to Andrew. Move them both. as we will start with Tom, who is going to try to avoid the TKO here. Tom, you chose category 10 for your first.
I don't know if they like actually figured out like the science of the numbers
80s
in this game.
Here it is.
What do you mean?
Or
Question from the 80s.
like how that could having a steal in round 2 could just be like massively huge.
Richard Donner.
Yeah, I would say Donner. Yeah.
There it is.
It's also because I had to do multiple choice for one of them, so it only got me 1 point.
You need to hit the 3 point. And that is category 8.
I don't actually have an ego line on this. That was what we like to call in the business a joke.
All right. 3-pointer. Here it is. What new wave rock star played Amber's mother, Velma Von Tussle, in 1988's Hairspray?
Jeez. Yeah, you all remember 1988's Hairspray?
5.
Yep. Gears are grinding on this one.
Yep. 1. What new wave?
I'm trying to remember who played Edna.
Amber's mother, Velma.
Oh, no. Okay. I know who played Edna in that one.
Hairspray.
It was Ricky Lake, wasn't it?
No. Ricky Lake was was Edna's daughter, Tracy.
Oh, okay.
Edna was Divine.
Right. I mixed the names up.
4.
Man, I haven't seen Hairspray in a while.
Looking for Debbie Harry. Debbie Harry is what we're looking for here.
Oh, really? Debbie Harry.
Here's the final question. The final
From
question.
Videodrome fame.
You hit it.
I think she was in a band too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Something to do with her blonde hair.
Yeah.
However,
see, I wouldn't call her that tripped me up because I wouldn't describe Debbie Harry as new wave, but
you will pick up 4 big points.
oh well.
All right, Tom.
Yeah.
Here it is. You chose category 11, and that would be dance films. Dance films. All right. Here is.
It's a nice strong category.
Yeah.
Who made their directorial debut?
Oh, yeah.
With the film Strictly Ballroom.
Strictly Ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Baz Luhrmann.
For 5 points.
Nice.
Really nice. That's a good pull.
Good pull.
We'll have to answer some questions.
Excuse me.
Tom avoids the TKO. And now Ethan Erwin will have to answer some questions here. Mark?
That is correct, Christian. Ethan's going to have to answer at least 2 questions correct here. If he wants to go with the 2 and the 3-pointer, he can win outright if he just gets the 5, but you probably don't want to come to that because that's probably a harder question. So, Ethan, for 2 points.
Usually that's how it works.
Yeah.
His number corresponds to the category.
Nice proper breakdown of how the game works from Mark Ellis there.
Get this question right. You're
Yeah, just in case you're new to it.
From advancing to the Final 4.
I never remember all the rules.
We're both direct.
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge.
Yep. Mike Judge.
It kind of helps the fact we're in Austin, Texas.
That is correct.
Office Space was, yeah.
And now
I've been to Initech. It's an actual place here in Austin.
Point.
It's just a random office building.
Next question.
Yeah, it is.
Ethan,
But you
for your
drive
3
past it, you're like,
you
I thought it was on fire.
selected number 1. And Warren Moon's number corresponds to crime movies.
All right.
Crime films. And your question for the win. To deny Tom teeth. What Tarantino regular plays Sonny Black, a gangster who was promoted to captain in Donnie Brasco?
Michael Madsen.
Five.
The suspense.
3.
Repeat.
First one.
First of 3 JTE rules. Your question in crime movies. What Tarantino regular plays Sonny Black?
It's a tough question. It's not. This isn't a movie that really people talk about a lot, so I get the feeling it's not really one that people revisit.
So Johnny Depp undercover.
Mm-hmm. Al Pacino.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson.
And your
Wow. There it is.
Yep.
to the next round.
Made him sweat a little bit there.
Ethan Erwin does it. He wins. Whew. Pulling Michael Madsen. Ethan, let's start with that Michael Madsen question. How did you
Let's start with the last one you just answered.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's not a regular.
This game is brutal.
I'm trying to remember back through that movie.
It's you can.
Anyway, I'm glad I didn't have to do the 5.
I only missed 2 questions, and it was just like impossible to recover because he got everything. Like, it's like, boom.
And that's the thing with this particular game is there are so many movies out there. It doesn't matter. Like if you were someone who studies, it doesn't matter how much you study. There's something you're going to miss.
Yeah,
and eventually that something you miss is going to pop up as a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just
and it will be
nobody's going to know
question.
Exactly. Nobody's going to know the answer to every question. There's just a billion movies out there.
You just have to hope that you don't get that moment or that situation up against somebody like Ethan Erwin, who will just inexplicably take advantage of it regardless.
Yeah. Still want to see you take on Dan Merle, though.
Yeah, not this time.
Nope, not this year.
So
like that needs to be like an exhibition match, like out of nowhere. Just like screw having to go through like a tournament or whatever. Just go straight to. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just go straight to Dan Merle.
Advantage. Yeah, Christian, Ethan certainly has a formidable challenge.
That's right, everybody. You're tuning into the Cinefanatics, where we have very strong Monopoly references.
What was it like playing against something?
You know, there's supposedly still a Monopoly movie coming out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
He's able to pull these answers.
Yeah, there's.
I'm always impressed by.
Man,
him.
there's an even more baffling one.
Teams, you know,
I'm trying to. It's like Connect 4 or something.
Oh, I remember hearing about Connect 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Moving on over here.
That's like Battleship.
Started your season this year.
Why?
That is not a good movie.
So far,
you know what would be a good movie? Risk.
The most vulnerable.
Risk would be a good movie.
Yeah. You find yourself again going up against Jeff Snyder here in the semifinals. And he is.
I just don't think there's like a whole lot of strong like board game to film adaptations, and that phrase just sounds ridiculous.
And then he beat him. You have words for Jeff
They're remaking
Snyder.
Clue too.
I mean, I'm glad he's in much better health. He looks great.
That's one I don't know if I really want them to touch.
I know that is his.
Well, the thing with remakes
but
is
really, the match is very similar. To
the original exists, like it's there. You can't touch it. So no matter how the remake turns out, the original is still there. So I'm kind of fine with like I'm like whatever about remakes. It's like yeah, sure. I don't have to see that. So.
And what you just said is how I feel about Clash of the Titans.
As far as you
kind of your, that's a bad one.
I love the original.
The original's sweet.
Yeah. Play like getting your head
the
back.
Ray Harryhausen.
The Harryhausen stuff. Yeah, give me that any day. Jason the Argonauts.
Yeah.
But just to
rules.
Congratulations.
Look at those skeletons. Those are awesome.
Head back in the game. My head is it's fine. It's been fine. It's been in the game. I had a rough match. Everyone has rough matches. I think in the last few months we've seen some incredible matches from a lot of people that we didn't expect, and a lot of bad matches from people that we did expect. And I think that I've been fine. I'm just doing fine.
Okay. All right. So Andrew Guy.
So we got
congratulations, Ethan.
Real quick. We got a Streamlabs from PC. She was saying that I was rooting for you, Tom.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not sure. I'm trusting.
I was too.
And maybe we saw some cracks there at the end. I'm gonna wish for the best, and I'm gonna hope that a good.
It's tough, man. He knows. He did not miss a single question.
Well, all right. Now bringing back.
I will tell you, since we had this episode of the replay planned like over a week ago, we were rooting for you also.
As you said,
I appreciate it.
At that 5-pointer, the Baz Luhrmann poll that got him into the next, had forced Ethan to win the game. Basically, he didn't.
Part of it is like
there. So, are you proud of the way that Tom played in this tournament?
my God.
love all
yeah,
the competitors. You know, you love Ethan
always say
for
about
what he
my-
brings to
my,
the table also,
my
but
den
I
mates, my
love
little
seeing when
cubs,
people
my
who
little
haven't
lion
gotten
cubs
the
in den.
shots at
It's
the
not,
top
It's not, you know, the end results
getting the
show
shots
we
at the
can
top,
get some
and just
points
having
for
the
it.
final
I'm
four
proud of the
with
way
like
he played.
Liz,
This guy,
Rookie, and Adam
find
Collins,
a hole in this
you
guy's knowledge.
and
You just can't.
Snyder
So
would have
for
been
me, I love the way I love
would have
the
been a
way he
great Final
played.
Four,
I love
but
that he took it all the way to
yeah, Ethan, who
his
has
own
been a
5
champion,
pointer.
coming back in again
I
and
love
just
that
doing
it
what he
wasn't
does.
a TKO.
Yeah.
You know,
No, he's
Ethan
good.
Erwin, obviously.
Although I will say I was eager to see like what would the Tom versus Snyder match look like, because you got Snyder comes out with that Boston that straight like heel attitude, and he's like, oh yeah.
He spun away from romantic comedies
Like,
in the
wait, what?
70s. What's it about rom-coms that turn?
He
you
would
know, do you not
randomly
enjoy
start quizzing me when the Collider offices were still
together
open.
in a comedic fashion?
Nice.
There are movies about people.
I think he was just trying to like get in, try to find out what you know, or is he just pushing your
I
buttons?
think he's a little nervous. Yeah, I don't know.
He was like, at some point in the Schmoedown, I know I'm gonna have to face him.
Okay,
maybe.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked.
I mean, we talk. So we
Andrew.
talk about like Tom facing
You
Snyder. We talk
now
about Tom
have
facing
Tom
Dan.
and Paul,
Both of
who
these
now
are
are gonna be in the
technically still an
teams tournament.
opportunity within. I think
Now because
somehow
of
within
Tom
the
and how he's
the teams
played
tournament.
in the singles tournament, and
So,
he went 2-1.
yeah.
Which is in
It's
this
not a-
gauntlet is very impressive.
Let's not put our cart before the
Does
horse
that
here.
bring the confidence back to say Paul Preston, who has not had a great year thus far?
Okay, let's go easy on that. Listen, comic book movies was a really hard category in his match. Oh God, Tommy. But listen, this is what I have to say. I'm just excited that we had this happen with Ethan today, so that when we see Ethan again in the tournament, hopefully in the teams tournament, that Tom can beat him as a team again. I'm excited for that, because then we can spell redemption. Always be closing.
Fair enough. All right. So Tom, it's great. It's always great to see you. And I would advise you to get out of that house as soon as possible before the authorities come. All right, so there you go. There's Tom and Paul. Tom played great. He's finds himself 2-1 overall, 2-1 in this tournament. But Ethan Erwin is once again the story, as Ethan Erwin finds himself now 13 and 5 with 5 knockouts, as he is only second to the champion, Dangerous Dan Merle, who sees himself at 16 and 5. So Ethan Erwin's just climbing up there once again. He did it. He's done it so fast. People don't forget, this is only Ethan's third season. It's Ethan's third season in the league, and he's already got that many victories. It's out of control what he's done so far. But he does find himself up against.
I can
Jeff
hear like
Snyder
a wave
now.
of
Look
players
at
going,
these-
"Can he
look at
just
these brackets right here.
retire?"
This is the on that side of the bracket, the semifinals, and then
Oh,
on
I am
this
so
side.
down to see Ethan Erwin versus Liz Shannon Miller.
That would be fun.
Like I'm still rooting for Adam Collins because he's like the rookie sensation
Just the same
on
way
this,
that
but
Ethan is. All these players that are left in the semifinals are the ones who have been locked in the most, in my opinion.
Doesn't that Ethan guy have a movie he has to go work on?
Sure, Christian. Devil may care attitude. You can tell he's putting preparation.
I think they're about to start up a third Sherlock Holmes, so maybe that'll take him out of the competition for a bit.
Combat. He's Goro. And
as far as we know, that's one of those that was like filmed while we were all in quarantine this entire time.
Ethan's really good at movie
Sherlock and Zoom.
To beat like Tom, because you may watch this match and say, well,
We joke, but I almost guarantee you that someone got the idea of like, let's make a movie entirely in Zoom, and it's going to suck.
I don't know if it's like a sequel to that movie Searching.
That Kate and Grace did today.
It could be good.
I think hats off to Andrew Guy.
Searching was really good, yeah.
As of this moment, 5 minutes. after
I did
that,
not know what to
during
expect
the
from that
match,
movie.
he
I
was
really
focused,
enjoyed it.
He was helping Ethan Erwin, and maybe you and I learned something about not underestimating people so much.
I don't know, man. From what he did today, he looked really good on that manager's side, and it seemed like he was put together for the most part. I don't know the end what happened, but either way, this was a big victory for the usual suspects.
If Tom gets a belt and then loses it, I want the next person to look at the belt. Are those teeth marks?
They have more chance to do that, not only with the semifinals and potentially if Ethan can win this whole thing, but now they have Ethan and Andrew in the teams tournament. So that's a potential for the suspects to start climbing back. the Den is going to need some big victories here from Tom and Paul leading into this next match.
No pressure.
There's just no doubt about it. Into the next team's tournament, that is. But Mark, one of the most fun.
There actually is a Zoom.
Bachelor Schmoedown.
William Harold. It's
Ashley Iacovetta. You know her from.
What's it called? It's called Host.
The Bachelor.
Shutter.
I thought you were talking about this one.
Against Nick Val. That's right. The former Bachelor himself in a Bachelor
the
trivia.
Tim Allen with
Schmoedown.
superheroes.
Jared,
they'd have to call it Tomb.
Tomb.
It is going to
Solid.
be a
I'd watch that.
spectacular event. If you are a Bachelor fan, if you are not, go and.
I mean,
check
here's
that
the
out.
thing. I
That's
know
on
that
Twitch.
they're working
Yeah, I
on
don't
movies
know
that
that I
are
recommend
like
Tom
already
watching
taking
that
place
match because The
during the
Bachelor features a
pandemic,
lot of
in
people
quarantine
that
and
might
everything.
kiss
And
Oh yeah.
points. So maybe
like we're all
Tom's
like,
man
why?
stays him away from
I'm not ready for that
everybody
yet.
else out there.
Well, it's the last thing I want to see.
A lot of fun. Very excited.
What's that?
Now, Jared.
Oh,
Heyman,
what was that one? Is it Don't Breathe?
Cog.
Yeah.
in Schmoedown.
Yeah, supposedly they've already filmed the sequel to that all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, I know. I wrote up that story for Collider. They were filming.
I think I saw your write up when I was like researching you on like what questions to ask you, and I saw that. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh sure.
All right,
They're filming
everybody.
in like
So thank you
Belgrade.
for joining us here today, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you.
Is it the same director?
And then next week.
No, it's co-writer
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for Mark. Thanks
on
for
the
our
first
great
one and on the
show.
Evil Dead remake.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name, but
Fede Alvarez.
Fede Alvarez is the director. He's not directing the.
Yeah,
he's not directing the second one. His co-writer on the previous two movies they did is directing the second one. But Fede, him and Fede wrote the script again, and Sam Raimi's still producing.
Oh, hopefully that's good. The first Don't Breathe was fantastic.
I liked it. It's one of those movies where it got a little frustrating because a lot of it became the characters just fighting the screenwriter, if that makes sense. Because it's really difficult. I appreciate it's very hard to come up with a movie like that and keep the characters from just leaving the house in a way that makes sense.
Yeah,
and I don't think Don't Breathe really pulls it off completely. I still liked it though. I thought it was nice and creepy.
I thought it was really good, and then the turkey baster got involved, and I was like,
no. That is buck wild where that movie goes.
Yeah. So real quick, we got AJ Lancaster jumped in with the Streamlabs saying had to jump out of the stream, but gonna wish all my FM IAM fans a happy Mulder Day tomorrow.
Oh, that's a podcast.
That is
Fox Mulder's a Maniac.
Yeah, so that's from Gamefully Unemployed, which is your podcast. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
So
it's my Patreon with my friend and former cracked coworker David Bell.
That's fantastic. So thank you, AJ, for basically forcing the plug in there, and we appreciate that. That's absolutely okay.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad I can force my brand onto your fan.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. In reality, we this specific show caters to Schmoedown, so you really haven't had a chance, like on Schmoedown. Like some people who are playing might nonchalantly drop or mention what else they're a part of. To kind of, really haven't had that ability.
No, I can't.
That's not a part of your character.
I can't really do that with this person.
Like, I'm completely okay with it. Especially because, again, this is a show catering to Schmoedown, so we've got basically a lot of Schmoedown fans are watching this right now. Cool. Especially because, again, you've never been on an after show, been able to talk about like your character and how it feels playing in the Schmoedown and whatnot. So that's force that plug in their context. Thanks, Garth. So
jeez.
Anyways, again, your playing is fantastic. It looked like it was like in this particular match, it looks like it really was like round 2. Had you had like a stronger slice in round 2, this would have been completely different. But
it would have definitely been close. That's for sure. Closer. I mean, it was pretty close, but yeah. What can you do? Like, sometimes you just don't get the question right.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that wheel really does like make or break people sometimes in this game, and that's just the bones of it.
Yeah,
but
it's the game. What can you do?
So we talked about that. I mean, obviously we've talked about like how Ethan Erwin is an animal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a really good player.
Going into like I know we touched on kind of briefly that you've already kind of started filming the teams matches, but just out of that context, like how do you feel about going into like teams, like jumping back in with Paul again, because you guys had that shot before, it didn't work out that one time. So how do you feel like going into the teams tournament and kind of trying to get that redemption streak?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't think about the competitive aspect of it. It's just a fun thing to do with nice people. So I like Paul's great. Kate's fun. Grace, I haven't interacted with too much, but she's great. Yeah, it's just fun. I don't know.
Kind of leave the competitive for the teams up to Paul at this point.
Sure. Yeah. Well, he's doing a fun thing with his character in the most recent match that you guys will get to see. So,
ooh,
that's awesome. He typically he's before, when he was a part of the movie guys and whatnot, he's always been kind of playing that competitive frat boy type of angle character anyway. So, I know that was very similar, like with the two of us, when like between me and my brother, I was the first one to find the Schmoedown. And I honestly, I just wanted to play movie trivia, kind of like what you were saying, Tom, is that I hold on to like just random knowledge about movies that you're like, this is never useful. Why do I have this skill? And I was like, I want to play movie trivia because at least that's fun. That makes me feel like I know something. I'm able to answer questions when essentially people aren't able to answer those questions. So that's where I started at, just being able to play. And then like since then, I've gotten more and more into the being competitive with it, to the point where depending on what it is we're doing, whether it's doing some like random thing in the fan leagues long time ago, to actually being on the Schmoedown, or what was it recently, the last general standing we did with call to action, going and filming promos for this. Even for this particular episode, I put together a promo that we released on Twitter yesterday about this, just because it was fun. It was fun being able to do like that sports type of hype thing. So I feel like I've really gotten into it since then. But absolutely, at the end of the day, still love just answering movie trivia.
Yeah, it's it's just repeating myself now. It's just a fun thing to do. I don't know.
I mean, again, the simplest. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Garth. The simplest answer is, it's just fun. I think that's what like the major draw to the Schmoedown is. There hasn't been anything like this before, and it is a great draw for people into it. So going into this, I mean, originally you got started because of Drew Grant pulling you into this. What was the idea behind the character?
Mine?
Yeah.
L from Death Note.
Okay.
I wasn't able. I tried to sit in the chair like L does, but you're just not really able to in those tall chairs that they use on the set. So I just sat with my legs crossed in a weird way, and I held the microphone like this, and just did a lot of weird affectations that were just based on that character. And then the rest of it was just I'm just a weird guy who only knows human interaction based on the movies he's watched. So yeah, that's it.
And the whole thing was kind of like spawning off of the idea of like, Drew's coming in here with kind of a off the wall kind of weird character. And so it's like, I want to play along with that too, since I'm coming in as your teammate.
Yeah. I can't really remember the discussion we had about that. Like I think she told me what she was doing, and I was like, okay, I got something that can work with that. Like I can just be odd. Yeah, I wish I could remember more about how that like we really didn't talk about details too much. Like I was just like, okay, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do, and I got the outfit put together and showed up. I was like, basically just showed her. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
And now it's because of that. You've seen her stuff where like she like everyone that she's either partnered with or she meets like as a part of her like shows now is always like some form of Tom, like new Tom, or there was like Lon Harris was like Lon Tom or something. I was on her show one time and I was like in all like full face makeup and I was referred to as Bob Tom. So
that's funny.
Yeah, Drew has hinted many times she has a whole backstory for Tom, like the whole origin. This sounds like the back of a G.I. Joe action figure.
Yeah.
Larry Hama is writing like
this backstory,
the actual backstory for the character.
Like I'm half expecting to see like a comic book origin like story for Tom at this point.
Sure. I mean, if someone's out there, let's put that out there. If someone is good at like doing the art and writing, start creating Schmoedown comic books with stuff like this for like individual characters and just create that. Because I think that would sell. We already have like someone doing Magic the Gathering cards for.
Oh yeah,
I've
seen the Tom and Drew cards for Magic.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh man,
guys, if you have anything you want to ask, drop it in the Streamlabs, drop it in the chat. Let's get some questions in here before we call it a night.
Sure. Yeah, y'all haven't had the ability to ask Tom Reimann questions. I mean, maybe y'all talked to him at Spectacular at the Fan Expo, but that's the most fan interaction we've had so far.
Yeah, that was weird. In the sense that I had to stand at a little table for several hours and just be this weird gremlin. Not strange because of the fans. It was just strange because it's a strange situation to find myself in.
Yeah, apparently my cat is doing something weird back here.
Well, now it's just standing there.
Yeah. Freaking Lola. Anyways, we mentioned before with you at the Spectacular, the Fan Expo. Kudos to just being in character the entire time.
Sure.
We've had a couple of Schmoedown people on the replay here, in character, and it really like a lot of the people who have characters on the Schmoedown, we see that it like you enjoy being that character, having fun with it, but being able to sustain it, not necessarily just on the Schmoedown, but in anything outside of Schmoedown, could be really mentally exhausting. So,
yeah, that's I did I asked you that beforehand because it's like if I had to be in character for the full 2 hours, it's gonna be like, nah, I'm not doing it.
But yeah, your ability to do that at the Fan Expo during Spectacular, that was fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
And I heard a lot of people like going to like the after party afterwards. They're like, dude, do y'all realize that Tom was in character the entire time? We're like, holy crap.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where it's just trying to like challenge yourself to do it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and also I thought I had to. Like so.
What is Derb Flurbin? Hey Tom, if you had to face the devil in a trivia battle for your soul, what category would you want? I feel like this is like I feel like this is like one of those like questions that ends with like a fiddle battle or something.
Yeah.
In Georgia.
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know. Man, I don't know. Spielberg movies. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I'm actually willing to bet that that's probably like some other Schmoedown competitor under a fake name that's asking just like, what's your strengths and what's your weaknesses?
Yeah, which is why I'm not answering it legitimately. No, I'm kidding. That's
strategy, people. Strategy.
I I made that gag earlier in the show, but I've not really ever done movie trivia competitively, so I'm really not sure like what my best categories and my weakest categories are, because I've never had to quantify it like that. It's just like I just know that X fact about Y movie. I don't know.
It sounds to me like if it was really if it was those high stakes, you would still go with Meg Ryan.
Well, maybe, yeah. Harrison Ford's a good one. Denzel, Will Smith, Tom Cruise. Like, you pick somebody where it's like, this is a
Pauly Shore.
Sure, he's not made that many movies, so it's
yeah,
it's
but
kind of easy to keep
have
track.
to watch those movies.
That's a fair point.
Most of them are pretty good. I'm gonna say Encino Man is good. Son-in-Law is good. And then, In the Army Now and Jury Duty kind of weren't great, but so like half of them are good.
All right, Bateman.
Good job there. So we're about to wrap this up. I'm gonna write the hell of a Tom Origin comic.
Oh, do it, man.
There you go.
If any of y'all have any final questions, make sure to get those in there. Let's start wrapping this up. Tom, it's been a pleasure having you on here. What would you like to plug?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. You kept mentioning, like, I've never been on an after show. I've never been asked to be on an after show. So thanks for having me on. I want to plug, I mentioned earlier, I have a Patreon that's a podcasting network and a game streaming network that I do with my former cracked coworker, David Bell. It's called Gamefully Unemployed. You can check that out at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We also do a couple of free podcasts you can just get on any old podcast app. Just search for Gamefully Unemployed Story Mode. We do a show called We Just Watched, which is a weekly movie review show. And then we also do Hypecast, which is where we go over the new trailers and the movie news of the week. And then we do a couple of other podcasts that are totally free that are just patron sponsored podcasts. We do movie nights on Fridays. We watch movies with patrons. We do a lot of cool stuff, and like a lot of former cracked people will pop in. If any of you guys were cracked fans back in the day. So yeah, check that out.
I was a crack fan back in the day.
Oh, cool. Well, we get Dan O'Brien and Michael Swaim, Cody Johnston, Katie Willard. We get a lot of those people on shows and stuff because we're all still friends. Oh yeah, Durb Lurbin says Tom and Jeff watch Batman. Yep, that's me and Jeff May do a show.
Also, if we wanted to plug, like, say, Twitter. Twitter, Start the Machine. Apparently, you're on these social media things.
Is that my Instagram handle?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, okay. I almost never post on Instagram. So,
and then you have your own website.
Oh yeah, that's
Tom Reimann must be stopped.
Yeah, thanks. That's just that's more of like a professional thing. It's like, here's my portfolio. Is pretty much what that is. But yeah, thanks for the plug. I would have forgotten to even mention that.
we like to, we're trying to build this channel, so therefore we like to do like a little bit of research trying to help. So
that seems like an intelligent and professional thing to do.
That's what I was thinking when I started into this. So I mean, AJ Lancaster put video game movies back on the wheel. That means all the competitors are going to have to watch a lot of Uwe Boll movies.
They all are extremely bad. Oh, AJ Lancaster also says Draft Action Heroes is my new favorite thing. Thank you. It's a show we do.
Yeah. There's two of us that have control over this, so therefore it gets wonky sometimes.
I got you.
So we've got Humshocked is asking, did you and Video Drew stay in character when talking off mic in live team matches?
No.
But at the same time, like, I could see that as just completely like throwing people off, like in the studio outside before actually playing if y'all just like were in character the entire time.
No, the moment I don't have to hunch over anymore, I stop doing it. This is a character that is hard on my skeleton.
It's a very smart maneuver there.
Yeah,
because I know about twisty skeletons right now.
You know, we could fix that hump on your back. What hump?
Yeah.
Let's see. Question: with some folks changing their characters, like Lon from Professor Delinquent, Guy from Dastardly to Debonair, what if you had to change Tom into a different character?
It would depend on what it was, honestly. But I don't think Christian likes the character a lot, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So
I feel like that was Garth like trying to get like some inside information. Like, are you going to be changing your character anytime soon?
Not that I know of. Nobody said anything to me, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll just keep doing this.
I don't. You really can't up until the point where there's like a big story element somehow weaving throughout the matches that it naturally just makes sense to do so.
Yeah. I have been sort of not in storylines, I guess, and that's kind of a drawback to a character like this is I can't really be involved in storylines because I don't really interact with anyone.
Like, had you gone through the tournament and took on like Dan Murrell and then won the belt, would that have been like a potential storyline shift for you?
I probably would have tried to think of something, yeah. Something fun to do with like what would this character do if they won a belt? What would that even mean to them? Like, I know my plan would be I would wear it just weird as hell. Like, and every time I came out with it, it would just be on my body in a way that makes no sense.
So, like Kaiser Sose with a limp, Tom's back just straightens out.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom comes out with a nice suit and talking with a British accent.
Oh man,
I got to be honest. Some of the stuff we probably shouldn't be talking about because it's good stuff to just kind of bring out for later. To be
that would be fantastic.
Oh,
have you shown any of your family members your matches, and what do they think of your character?
My brother's seen it, and he thinks it's fun. He only wants me to ask Brendan Meyer questions about Color Out of Space and The Guest. He's like, you got to talk to him about those movies. I'm like, okay.
Are you Nicolas Cage's son?
Yeah. Well, my plan, I had a whole plan for the Battle Royale, which got canceled because that was going to happen right around when the outbreak of the pandemic started.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was planning on just not being able to separate him from that movie. So I was just going to keep asking him stuff like, why did you go in the well?
So my brother hasn't seen it, but that was one of my favorite movies like this year.
So it's great. It's great. Yeah,
I loved it. Great throwback to like a Cronenberg like body horror movie.
Mm-hmm. And just really trippy in the best possible way. I'm really looking forward to they're supposedly going to do a trilogy of Lovecraft movies with Richard Stanley and Spectre Vision. So that'll be, I think they're working on Dunwich next, which would be cool. But none of my other family members have seen it. A lot of my friends back home have stumbled across it, and it's like, is this you? I'm like, yeah, that's me. The funniest thing was I had my friend Eric Barnes, who is what's he, the Warlord?
Warfather.
Yeah. He was in the audience for a Schmoedown taping and did not recognize me until after the match. And it's like, I'm friends with him, and he didn't. And like Liz didn't know this was me. Like we were, Schmoedown came up in the Collider Slack a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, "Wait, you're that Tom?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like she didn't even recognize me, so that's been fun.
That's funny.
So what's funny, going back to like I was saying, like trying to prepare for this episode and doing like a little bit of research. If you Google Tom Reimann and then you click on images, you get like all these images of you, like pretty professional looking, like your selfies and stuff, and then there's the one of you as Tom with the hoodie hunched over. It's like, wait, where's that coming from?
Yeah,
it was really funny. Like again, like trying to find images for like the thumbnail and stuff, and I guess I went with like your normal like in front of the green screen it's on your website as well. So
I'm not on a green screen. That's where was that?
There was like a green curtain behind you.
Yeah, it's the green room at UCB. I forget which UCB it was. I took it during a Cracked Live podcast. So it's not a green screen; it's a green room.
It's an actual green room.
Yeah, behind the scenes, green rooms are not necessarily always green.
No, they're not. They're almost never green, actually.
Let me see.
We got a Streamlab from PC. She said,
"Oh yeah,
which city would you want to play in the Schmoedown live?"
I don't know. Where has it been in the past?
They've hit like a lot of the major cities, New York, and I know down here in Texas they hit Houston. So,
man, I don't know.
There's like any city that tugs at your heart that you're like, "Ooh, that'd be kind of fun to go do some trivia there."
Houston was interesting because they actually filmed at Booker T's wrestling arena instead of like an actual stage setup. So,
that's neat. I've never been to New York, so that would be cool. I wouldn't mind doing one in Austin. My parents used to live in Austin, and I think it's a great city. And I'm from Hampton Roads in Virginia, so if they ever did anything there, I'd be happy. Like when Mark Ellis was talking about, I saw Back to the Future 2 at Patrick Henry Mall, and I was like, that's like down the street from where I used to live. Yeah, so I guess one of those places. Los Angeles would be very easy for me. I would just have to yeah.
Just hop down the highway.
Pretty much.
Well, you don't hop down a highway in
I
LA.
know. You
sit in traffic.
Snail drive down the highway.
It sucks.
Garth is saying Boston. You could have Boss Tom in a Boston match, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So
looks like we got another show. Oh, wow.
Errolowl.
A very nice donation from Errolowl from Rachel. Thank you so much, Rachel. It means a lot. For forever dispelling my image of Tom. Such a pity.
Oh.
Yeah, we kind of like peeked at the wizard behind the curtain on this one, didn't we?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to that man behind the hoodie.
Yeah. You see, it's a performance. Yeah.
But a very well done performance. Like again, kind of like we were saying at the very beginning, it's one of the best characters in the Schmoedown right now. In fact, I kind of want to see you and Andrew Guy go like toe to toe in a movie trivia like character off. Like it's gonna be like all deep cuts, but you have to stay in character, and you lose a point if we see you break character at all.
Oh God, that sounds like fun for the audience, but terrible for the two of them.
Andrew Guy would absolutely hate it.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it. It's funny because I really, I think my biggest I guess message for the show today has been I really don't think about it.
So AJ Lancaster in the chat's bringing this up because I just thought of this also is if you ever go to New York for a live event, we need like a Tom like vlogging episode of you like in the middle of like Times Square, like
somebody would call the cops on me.
That's
I don't know. Have you been to Times Square?
No, I've never been to New York City.
There's an Elmo down there that would probably.
Yeah. I could probably do that in downtown Los Angeles too.
Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard.
Everyone wants to get a
hang out with Spider-Man on Hollywood Boulevard.
People want to get a picture with you and they don't know who you are. They're like, "Hey, that looks like a character we should get a photo with."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a picture with Igor.
Oh, geez. Anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. We're gonna start wrapping this up. Those of y'all in the chat, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here tonight. This has been fantastic. Again, we are the Cinefanatics. Typically, when we're all feeling hunky-dory, we will be doing videos during the week. Yes, I'm singling you out. On Tuesday nights, we do the tagline. It's the show where the tagline is the title. That's where we're going to talk about movie news. Typically, we'll probably discuss stuff that's popped up in movie news, more than likely that have been revealed by this man right here.
Oh, well, it's mostly Snyder, actually. That's his beat.
Yeah, so I mean, we peruse movie news and then we have a discussion about it. So that is Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. That'd be 7:30 Pacific, and was that 10:30 Eastern time zones? Man, what a wild concept. Anyway, so that's where we talk about movie news and really show off that we know what we're talking about when it comes time to talking about movies. So join us on there. We also do Schmoedown Replay. Typically, it would be on. We do Schmoedown Replay the night of the Schmoedown episode being released on YouTube. Tonight was a special night because Tom's wife was celebrating her birthday last night. So feel free to tell her happy birthday from us.
Last weekend, but yeah, I will. Thank you. Last weekend. Oh, we had to postpone. Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, I'm completely thrown off now.
I mean, time is meaningless right now. It might have been last night for all I can remember.
Here's the thing. I constantly make the joke. I feel like we're still stuck like in March of this year and we still have yet to get out of it. Just who knows?
Honestly, I'm kind of glad we're not.
We're in April now. So,
no, it's got to be at least April by now, right? Right. Oh man.
Anyways, so yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/cinefanatics. We are doing movie watch-alongs coming up pretty soon. I know we're wanting to do one at our $10 tier. We haven't quite hammered out exactly what it is. Like I said, I would like to do Army of Darkness if that was available for streaming, but I don't know if it is. I know at the end of this month, and we'll talk about this on Tagline on Tuesday, end of this month, we want to do a watch along for Halloween, the original John Carpenter Halloween. Apparently Halloween is on a Saturday this month, so that looks like a great time to do that. That we're looking at
any
doing
sense at all.
The what?
Why would we do Halloween at the end of the
Why
month?
would we do Halloween on Halloween? Yeah. So we are looking at the end of this month. That will be a public watch along, I believe, for that one. So stay tuned for that. We'll give you details on how you could watch that with us on Tuesday. So come back for that.
Cool.
Anyways,
we're good. I think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody in the comments for your kind words.
Yeah. And make sure you follow us Twitter, Instagram, Cinefanatics MLP, Chris Adams MLP, Robert Adams MLP. I keep forgetting that we have to tag those as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. Again, all of y'all in the chat, thank y'all for being here so much. This has been a blast to have y'all watching along with us. Tom, thank you very much for being on this show. It has been amazing having you on. We hope to have you on again, kind of like what I was saying. If you would like to do this in character at some point. Seeing Tom react to Tom.
We'll work that out later. Work that out later.
Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. So thank y'all for watching. All of y'all have a great evening. As for my brother, as for myself, as for Tom, thank y'all for watching. Good night.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bye.